All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started for the sake of time. Obviously, more people are going to hop on when they are ready. So very excited to have everybody today. Welcome. We are going to be talking about launching social media campaigns. Hopefully that was clear with my rocket. So I'm going to walk you through the game plan for today in just a second. But first, I wanted to address why we're hosting this webinar. Bond Exchange is a surety bond platform. So why are we teaching agents marketing skills? Part of what we do here is talk to agents every single day. And I know I'm talking to them about ways to find more business in this difficult market. So we do a lot of deep dives into where they can see some growth. And a lot of it comes down to their digital marketing. So we wanted to take just 30 minutes to today, provide some information that can be used to win more business. Because at the end of the day, we are a wholesaler. So when agents win more business, we get the chance to win more bond business as well. Really can't get better than that. Obviously, making surety profitable is our focus here, but we do love helping agents win all types of business and expand their book. So let's briefly discuss today's game plan. Okay, so we will do some quick introductions. We will then talk about the importance of social media. We will create a graphic in real time, and then we will use that graphic to create a Facebook and a LinkedIn ad. Tim said it earlier, but if you did not hear, if you have any questions at all during this Q&A, please feel free to type it in that Q&A portion in the webinar, and then we will answer them at the end. So let's dive in with some introductions. We are very excited and lucky to have the head of marketing with us today, Mr. Tim Rotundi. So Tim, if you want to talk about your role here at Bond Exchange.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm very excited to be here today. And again, thank you to everyone for tuning in this morning. My name is Tim Rotundi, and I'm the head of marketing at Bond Exchange. Now, my role consists of planning and executing Bond Exchange's marketing strategy. This involves creating custom graphics and running social media campaigns, which conveniently is the topic of today's webinar.
Yeah, very apt. Might be like I planned this myself. So very grateful to have you today, Tim. I know you are busy, so thank you for taking the time to walk our agents through this. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Taylor Conley. I work here in business development for Bond Exchange. So a lot of what I do is agent enrollment and training agents on our tools, but also consists of hosting these fabulous webinars for all of you. So before we get into yeah, thank you. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of how to create all of these graphics and what to do with them, we're actually going to have Tim walk us through the importance of having these social media campaigns.
Right. Thank you, Taylor. Now, the first reason to run social media campaigns is that you're exposing yourself to a larger audience. Millions of insureds have Facebook and LinkedIn accounts, and running ads can be a relatively inexpensive way to reach consumers that you wouldn't be able to through traditional marketing methods. The second reason is that social media ads allow you to target specific demographics. For example, if you wanted to sell more business owners policies, you can set up a LinkedIn ad targeting individuals residing in the states that you're licensed in that have business owner, president, or CEO in their job description. The third reason to run social media advertisements is to build brand awareness. Consumers generally require a certain level of trust in a brand before committing to an online purchase. Essentially, they want to know that you're reputable and trustworthy before giving you their money. As such, you'll find that a lot of consumers that you interact with on the first time on your social media ads won't convert on that first interaction. Facebook and LinkedIn allow you to retarget consumers that interact with your ads but don't convert. And each subsequent ads builds your brand's awareness and reputation among these consumers and works to convert customers over time. So basically, you can think about it this way. Do you always convert consumers you meet into customers on your first interaction with them? The answer is probably not for most agents, unless you're just super good, which I'm sure most of you are. But the same is true for social media ads. You'll need to make multiple good impressions on certain consumers before they become a customer. And building brand awareness through retargeted social media ads will help you do that. And finally, the best reason to do it is that your competitors are doing it. You don't want to sit back on the sidelines and let the compete up the street dominate these massive social media platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn. You need to get some skin in the game and reach these consumers before your competitors do, because I promise you they will.
Yes, absolutely. As I said earlier, it is a difficult market out there for our agents right now. I know it's not new news to any of you, and we all are competing for the exact same business. So let's see what we can do to stand out. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to hand the reins over to Tim to take over. All right, your show now, Tim.
All right, it's my show. Taylor, can you confirm to me that you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now that we know why running social media ad campaigns are important, let's take a look at how to actually set one up. To start, we're going to create a design through Canva. Now, there are a ton of different graphic design platforms out there, such as Illustrator, Photoshop, just to name a few, but at Bond Exchange, we have found great success using Canva due to its ease of use and customization options. I promise you, this is my unbiased opinion. I have received no money from Canva to use their services or use their platform today, but maybe they should pay me.
Webinar is not
All right.
sponsored by Canva.
So to start off, we're going to create a new design. So within Canva, you just click that create a design button. Now we're just going to type in Facebook ad. And what this does is automatically give you the sizing presets. Canva does that for you. So we'll click that. What you see here is that you start with a blank canvas. Now, unless you're just some super artistic genius, which I promise you I'm not, you're probably not going to want to start with this blank canvas. What I typically do is go to this design tab, click that, and it gives you a bunch of different templates to choose from. Now, we have already selected our template for this webinar, so we're just going to go with this. Now, to start, I'm just going to delete these shoes because at Bond Exchange, we sell surety bonds. We do not sell shoes. I'm going to want to change this to our brand color. So if you just click up here on color, you'll see you have the option to change the color to anything you want. We already have our brand kit within Canva, as you can see here. We've uploaded it, but if you don't know what your agency's brand color is, the exact hex code, what you can do is just go to any page on your website, click F12 on your computer. And what this does is pull up your developer tools. Now, within the developer tools, you can see that it's going to display the hex codes for every color on that page. And you can scroll down, find the hex code you want. As long as your brand's color is on that page, you will be good to go.
I swear I learn something every single time we do these webinars. So that was new information to me.
Yep. So now that we have our brand color, we're just going to edit this design, make it Bond Exchange blue. Trademark pending. Make that blue. Okay. So I'm going to delete this button because I don't want it in my ad. I'm going to delete this text right here. I'm going to delete this text right here. And now I'm going to change this to be Bond Exchange's slogan. So we make surety work for you. Now, I don't like this font. This preset font is Oswald. At Bond Exchange, we use Meriwether. So what I'm going to do is click the font right here, type in Meriwether Sans. Okay, so that's our font. Need to make this Meriwether Sans as well. I'm gonna increase this so that's on 2 lines. And now what I want to do is decrease the size because it's way too big. So we're just going to go here, click the minus sign on the font size. So that's where we want it. Now, I also don't like that it's all caps. So what I'm going to do is click this uppercase button. And what that'll do is just make it the first letter capitalized for each line, but I kind of want it to be the first letter of each word. Okay. So we'll go there. I mean, that's a good red, but it's not our brand red. So we'll position this so it's centered. Change this to the BX blue. And now lastly, we're going to want some of our branding on there. You know, this is a nice design, but it doesn't do anything for us in its current state. So I'm going to click on the Uploads tab. And within the Uploads tab, you can upload any image you want. We've uploaded our logos in here. Just going to do that. And the great thing about Canva is that it'll help you, if you see those little purple lines, that'll denote the spacing within the page. So you can see this is centered within this, the We Make Surety work for you, as well as in its defined asset parameters. Just going to leave that there. And next, we're just going to download this as a PNG. I would recommend downloading your Facebook ads as a PNG. I know a lot of you, a lot of people just use the standard JPEG, but from my experience, PNG looks better. So we're going to download that, and now we're good to go.
Awesome. That was simple enough that even I could probably do it. I'm not the most tech savvy person, but I think I could handle Canva. And I'm pretty sure our agents will have the ability to manage that as well. So
Well, don't
now that
cut
we
yourself
have,
short, Taylor.
I thank
Very
you.
good.
I found the rocket, so to do that. So now that we have our graphic, but before we get into campaigns, I do just want to note that while we're showing you how to launch these social media campaigns, we are going to be showing you just the bare bones of how to start those campaigns and get them running. You'll see Tim will show you there's areas where you can get into more specifics and get more granular, but we're just showing you what's necessary for the sake of time here. So just keep that in mind. And this will be a recording that you can go back and watch over and over again and do it step by step. But we are going to be showing you just the simplest steps to launch that campaign. All right, Tim, take us to social media.
Yeah. And if you're a beginner, the simple steps are the greatest place to start. You don't want to get bogged down with all the different technicalities and intricacies of the platforms. But okay, so now that we have the graphic created, let's take a look at how to set up a Facebook ad. Now, let me just put a disclaimer in here. First, a lot of agents that run social media ads will choose to boost an existing post instead of setting up an ad in Facebook's ad manager. At Bond Exchange, we run our ads through Ad Manager, as you're able to insert a prominent call to action and better manage campaigns. I would recommend using Ad Manager as well instead of just boosting a post. Okay, so we're going to go to Facebook, and from Facebook, you can see right here, it says Ads Manager. I'm going to click on that. Yes, it always confuses me with Meta versus Facebook now, how they changed their name, but
I can't keep up with social media except for work. Outside of work, I have no idea what's happening on social media.
yeah. Okay, so once you're in your ads manager, and if you haven't set up an ad account, it'll prompt you to do so, but we're just going to click on create. Okay, so now we're going to choose the campaign objective. We want people to come to our website. So what we're going to do is click website traffic. If your goal is different, you can click any of these campaign objectives here, and Facebook will, make the ad go to people that are likely to engage in that specific way. So we're doing traffic. All right, so we're going to name the campaign just test. We're going to ignore special ad categories for now. We're going to leave the campaign details as is. Ignore this, ignore this. Once you get more adept at Facebook ads, you can look into all these other little intricacies. But again, just for this webinar, we're going to stick with bare basics. We're going to click next on there. Now we're going to want to name the ad set. So how it works within Facebook is that you can have a campaign at the very top, and within that campaign, you can have ad sets. And within that ad sets, you can have different ads itself. So that's basically the process that we're going through here. You set the campaign parameters, then you set the ad set parameters. And now we're going to do, well, currently we're doing the ad set, but then we'll do the ad itself. So we're going to name this test. We're going to send people to our website. Performance goal is going to be to maximize the number of clicks. We're going to leave cost per result goal blank for now, skip dynamic creative, and now we're going to set our budget. So with Facebook, you can set a daily budget or a lifetime budget. We're going to leave it as a daily budget. We'll change this to $10 a day. We'll let it start today, and we're going to let it run continuously. If you wanted to run it for a month, you would just click this end right here to set the end date. And now we're getting into what's arguably the most important part of your campaign is creating a new audience. Facebook has custom audiences that you can choose from right here. And once you create an audience, you can save it, so you don't have to recreate it. But I'm just going to show you guys real quick how to create an audience. So for locations, we're only going to be targeting US users. And for the age, 18 is a little young for an insurance agent to be, looking for surety bonds. So we're going to change our age range from 25 to 65 plus. We're going to target all genders. And now we get into the meat and potatoes of the audience selection itself. And this is going to be the detailed targeting. Now here you can select it so it's only certain demographics, people only have certain interests or behaviors. Feel free to play around with this when you're setting up your ads, but for the sake of this, we're just going to target Facebook users that identify themselves as either an insurance agent or insurance owner, because that is our target audience. Now, right here, if you see where my mouse is, you can see the estimated audience size. This is very small. This is only 1,200 to 1,500 Facebook users. I would not recommend going with an audience size this small. But just because, setting a custom audience can take up to 30 minutes in and of itself, we're just going to stick with this for the sake of brevity. You can also see right here your estimated daily results. So at our budget with our audience, we're going to estimate it to reach between 197 to 570 people. Estimated link clicks is 0. Again, really spend some time filling this out right here. But just like I said, for the sake of brevity, we'll skip through it. Ad placements, we're going to leave as is for now. Click next. Okay, so now we get into the ad itself. So remember, I said there's your campaign, and within that campaign, you can have ad sets. And within that ad sets, you have ads. So now we're at the ad portion. So I'm going to do is just name the ad test. I'm going to ignore this because it's already going to our Bond Exchange Facebook page. And the first thing I'm going to want to do is scroll down and set the destination URL. Now at Bond Exchange, we have dedicated landing pages for our different ad campaigns. And what a landing page is essentially, say one of a Facebook user clicks on your ad, where do you want to take them? I wouldn't recommend taking them just to your home page, because then they can just get easily distracted and start clicking on a bunch of other things when what you want them to do is purchase policy. So we designed a landing page specifically for the goal of this campaign, which is to get new insurance agents to gain access to our website. We tailor the landing page for that purpose. As you can see, they have a clear CTA or call to action right in the middle. We have some sales text. We have a nice video in here, and we have some additional text that further drives home our point, but there's really no room for them to get distracted on here. They could click on our headers, that's just the risk you have to take, but there's not a bunch of different items drawing their attention.
Absolutely. And
So
if
we'll
you want more information about landing pages at all, we do have an older webinar where Tim is talking about all the different digital marketing things that you can do. So please feel free to check out our YouTube Bond Exchange and check out that webinar, because Tim can talk about landing pages forever, and he'll probably do it again. We really believe in landing pages here. All right, I'll give the floor back to you.
I don't think I didn't hear that Tom
I know.
slip of the tongue. It's okay. It's better than Jeff. That's what
I have an uncle named Tom. It's just it's so simple.
Yeah, no, my fiance's family thought my name was Jeff for a while, so that was an interesting thing. But anyway, back to the topic of discussion. So we're going to paste our URL in here. And again, this is the URL to our landing page. And then you can start to see the little preview for the ad. So let's scroll up here. And here you can select the call to action. The call to action is just, if you see my mouse, this little learn more button right here. You can select all these different ones, but we're just going to leave it learn more for now. You can insert a description, and the description will appear right here. If you see where my mouse is, I usually don't insert a description, but that's just personal preference. The headline, this is where you can write a custom headline. we're not gonna go through this just for the sake of time, but make sure it's something like get quote, or you know, just something that denotes that they are going to be completing a transaction or just signifies the purpose of your campaign. Now for the primary text, and by the way, the headline will appear right here. Right now it's just enrollment page, Facebook bond exchange, but that's not a very good one, so I would recommend making it custom for yourself. Now for the primary text, that's what's going to appear right here. Just make sure you're giving some thought to it. You don't want it to be too long. You just want it to drive home your point. So I'm just going to say insurance agents, gain access to bond exchange. And we will make all your dreams come true. Can't promise that, but for right here, make it short and sweet and that it conveys your point well. And the next thing we're going to do is just add our media. So that graphic we created a little while ago. So we're going to click on add media. We're going to add an image. Now we did come prepared. We do have our graphic already uploaded into our Facebook account, but if you don't, you just click this upload, then you'll go through that process. We're going to click next. And here it'll show you a preview of the image in different aspects of Facebook. So you can see how it looks in the feeds, in streams, ads, stories and reels, the right column, search results. Make sure everything looks good. You can crop the image if it gives you that option. For here it doesn't. You can replace the image. You can do whatever you want. Once you're happy with that, just click next. And I'm going to allow it to enhance my photo. Essentially what that means is like if Facebook's AI thinks they can, brighten my colors or in any way better the image to make it more appealing to consumers, I'm going to let them do that. Click done. Okay, and now if you're happy with your ad, the next step you would do is click publish. You can also see some previews right here. If you click here, you can see how it's going to look in Instagram. You can see how it'll look in Facebook Marketplace. So all these different preview options for you. But again, once you're happy with that, just click publish. Facebook will take, up to 3 or 4 hours to review your campaign. And once that's done, it'll be good to go.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I know when I talk to agents, it may seem like to them it's a little overkill to use the ad manager, but just like insurance, having that back office component to capture that data really is crucial. We want to be making data-driven decisions. Tim just did this whole thing in like 4 minutes, so it would probably take the rest of us like 10, but I think we can definitely get it done. So that is Facebook. What is next? What's happening with LinkedIn?
Next is LinkedIn, and I will say just, to our agents, that can look like a lot. There's a lot of different items within the ad manager for you to set up. But, you can really just ignore most of them, just focus on the basics. Feel free to just rewatch this as many times as you want when you're setting up your ad campaigns, because, it really is a lot, but you don't need to focus on everything to start off with. Okay, so with that aside, done. Now, while LinkedIn isn't as big as Facebook, it allows you to better target individuals based on their job title and work experience, as many people don't put their work history on their Facebook profiles. And again, as with Facebook, we recommend setting up your ads through LinkedIn's campaign manager instead of just boosting a post, as you're able to insert a prominent call to action and better manage campaigns. Okay, so to set up the LinkedIn ad, we're just going to go to our LinkedIn account, click right here at the top, advertise. Wait for it to load. Now, if you don't have an ad account, it's going to prompt you to set one up. I obviously do have an ad account, so I'm going to click Tim's ad account. Now we're in our campaign group section. So remember how we talked about with Facebook, you have your campaign, your ad set, as well as your individual ad. LinkedIn has campaign groups. campaigns, and then within that you have your ads. So we're just going to click on our default campaign group for now. And again, you'll set one up if you don't already have one. Okay, so now that we're in our default campaign group, what we're going to do is click create, and we're going to create a campaign. So this is just confirming that I do want this to be within the default campaign group. So I'll click next. I'll name this test campaign. And now, as with Facebook, it's going to ask you for your campaign objective. We're going to go with website visits as we did with the Facebook, but again, you can choose whatever you want. And again, like I just mentioned, I personally like LinkedIn ads better because Bond Exchange, we're wholesale, we're targeting, basically B2B. We only work with insurance agents, so that's our target audience. And then it allows us to target insurance agents better via the platform. Now, from an actual agent perspective yourself, you can just search, president, CEO, business owner. For that, you can set the parameters to only feature ads in the states you're licensed in. While LinkedIn isn't as big as Facebook, it does allow you to better target people based on their job title and work experience. So we're going to target everyone with insurance agent. Oh, I misspelled that.
No.
Agent as their job title. If you scroll through here, it'll give you, I guess I clicked it, but you can search for people with insurance agent and their work experience. If that's what their company name is, that'll show up. We're also going to target insurance brokers. The job titles. Now you can see here, our target audience size is pretty big. It's over 300,000. Like I said, that's because the whole purpose of LinkedIn is to have your work experience and job title right there. Facebook doesn't have that, or many people don't post their work experience onto their Facebook profile. So that's why our audience size is so much bigger here with the same parameters. I like that. So I'm going to scroll down. We're going to make the ad format a single image because that's what our graphic is. I'm going to allow it to post on LinkedIn's third-party networks. That's basically, sites that LinkedIn has an affiliation with that their users frequent. Your ads can show up there as well. So now for the budget. With LinkedIn, you can set both a daily and lifetime budget, a daily budget, or a lifetime budget. I'm just going to set the daily budget. Bring this down to 15. I'm going to let it run continuously. You can set an end date if you want. Now you'll notice LinkedIn's going to pressure you to spend more money. It's your money. Feel free to give it to them if you want to. I kind of just take that as, they want us to spend more money on these ads. So you can take stock in that. You can ignore it, whatever fits your campaign strategy. We're going to stick with maximum delivery for our bidding strategy. And now you can see conversion tracking. So essentially what this is Facebook allows you to do the same. You can insert a pixel onto your website for Facebook or LinkedIn or both that helps you track like direct conversions from users that go to your site and follow through on your ads objective. Now, setting up the pixel can be a annoying process to say the least. So if you do want to set up a pixel, I would recommend contacting your web developers to do that for you because it does involve pasting code. You see ours is currently inactive. That's don't worry, we're still on top of our game. This is just pretty much a demo ad account for this webinar. But click save because we're happy with that. Now we're going to want to create the ad itself. So we're just going to click create new ad. We're just going to name this ad test to be consistent. And again, the first thing we're going to want to do is set that destination URL. We do have a landing page for our LinkedIn enrollments. So our LinkedIn ads. So we're gonna paste that there. You can scrape it if you want. That's just gonna, get the featured image and anything else you have on that page. I typically ignore this just because we want to do a custom image. So now we're going to add our image. Again, we did come prepared. So already uploaded. So what I'm going to do is just add that in here. You can see some of our past designs. Make the headline just surety made easy. The description functions the same as with Facebook. This would just appear under there. I'm going to leave that as is. My call to action, I'm just going to learn more, my introductory text. Say BX is great. Tell your friends. But
Yeah,
obviously,
we
this is
are.
just for the sake of time, you're going to want to put more effort into that than I just did. Okay, so if everything to you, just click Save Ad. It's just confirming that you're good to go there. And then this will just one more time give you all the campaign group parameters, the campaign parameters, and the ad parameters itself. And if you're happy with everything, you would just click this button right here and you're good to go.
That's it, folks. Simple as that, right? Thank you
Right.
so much for that, Tim. I'm going to steal the screen back from you really quickly. All right, so we have gone a minute or two over, so I just wanted to remind everybody we will be emailing out this recording. So if you do have to hop off, we'll make sure to answer these questions and that will be in the recording for you as well. I also want to note that in that email, there will be a link to gain access to Bond Exchange. If you are a PNC agent and you haven't already done so, please feel free to make use of that. Let's get into my favorite portion of these webinars, which is the Q&A. I will say several of the questions was if we would be recording this and sending that out. So I can answer several of those questions now. Yes, everybody will have this recording and we will post it on our blog and our YouTube as well. So find them there.
I can
Let's
see
see.
we have some questions. Taylor, you want to get the first one?
Yes, so we will be sending out a copy of this webinar. That is done. Let's see. Okay. Go ahead, Tim.
Is this a free program? If not, is there a free design program to create design? So I assume that's in reference to Canva. Yes, Canva is a free program for the base level. They do have free design capabilities. We use Canva Pro, so we do pay for it. We get a lot of, what that means, you're going to have like a better brand kit, have a lot of templates, you have access to more of their images and assets. What I would say is if you're serious about running ads on social media and creating good graphics, it is worth it to pay for, a Canva Pro or a Adobe license. And at the other hand, at Bond Exchange, part of the services we provide is we will create co-branded, social media designs for you for you to post out. Now, the caveat there is it has to be co-branded. Again, as much as I would love to design all your social media graphics, it does have to have our logo on there. But just to reiterate, I would say that it is worth it to pay for a Canva Pro. It's not terribly expensive if you're serious about designing, good high quality graphics. The next one, what is the difference between a JPEG and PNG in general terms? In general terms, PNG, I think, just downloads better and clear. I think it had lots more pixel space for you. So if you want it to be like, as high quality of an image as you can, I would recommend using a PNG as opposed to, JPEG.
And I want to say there's a second question kind of related to that about how you can save it as a PNG as opposed to a JPEG. So when Tim was downloading that image in Canva, when he was done, it gives you a drop down menu of what format you would like to save the picture in. So you can choose PNG right there. I did learn that from this webinar.
Right. And then our next one from Jamie, what is your ideal audience size for Facebook? Just out of curiosity. It really depends on the nature of your business and just the goal of your campaign. If you have a Facebook marketing rep, which if you advertise on Facebook, they're just going to assign you one anyway. What they'll do is they'll take you through kind of like an overview of what I just did. It's not going to be much better. They'll just tell you the exact same things, but they'll tell you that you're going to want to have as big as an audience size as possible. Now, for us at Bond Exchange, we don't want it to be too big because we're only targeting licensed insurance agents. Now, from an agent perspective, you're targeting everyone who could need, the policies that you're trying to write. So yours would want to be a little bigger. I would say, at least try to get at least like 1 million in there or 500,000 at the absolute minimum. We've run ads where we've targeted up to, 5 million people there with pretty much the same results as our smaller audience lists. But again, we're different because we're a wholesaler. So I would say, depending on your needs, try to get at the minimum 500,000 within your audience list on Facebook.
Okay.
So yes, Canva is subscription based.
I think we've got a lot more questions here than we might have time to answer. I did reply to a few of you that just had very specific questions that I would just be reaching out to you. Let's see.
I'll answer maybe one or two more. Okay, this is a good one from Craig. How do you calculate the rate of return on your ads? So what your ideal ROI is completely up to you. Facebook and LinkedIn, once you have a campaign running. So if you remember when we were in the ad manager and campaign manager, it right there, we didn't have any ads set up in Facebook for that one, but for LinkedIn we did. It had all the metrics for the ads. So you can see, the number of impressions it got. You can see the cost per click. You can see, the number of clicks you got, all that data, and then you can just use that data to calculate what your own ideal ROI is. Now, for us, I think it's like, we'll want to spend maybe like $250 at the most per enrollment we get. That's just, we calculated that based, examining a bunch of different data like EBITDA on our back end and, just the cost of the campaigns itself. So that's our number, but you would have to go through the same process to determine your number, but it does give you all the data needed for setting your own ROI. Okay, maybe let's do one more question. Okay, from Sherry, is there bond specific images that can be used for clients to understand the different bonds? Yes, you have to get creative though. So if you go into Canva and you search surety bond, it's just going to be like very generic photos of, a document that says surety bond. And we try to be a little bit more creative than that. What we like to do is like, if it's a probate bond, for instance, put something where it's like a court or an attorney, something like that, that just denotes the purpose of the bond. If it's, for instance, an auto dealer bond, maybe put like a cool image of like a car dealer or car shops, just something like that. I wouldn't just go for like the generic surety bond images just because they're, in my humble opinion, not very good. And there's better options basically out there. Okay, so let me answer one more question. I think we have time. So can you be a captive agent and still do this? Yes, we will design. We design graphics for, co-branded graphics for all of our enrolled agents. So what that means is you have to be enrolled with us in order for, us to provide this service. I would love to provide it to everyone, but we got to prioritize, the agents that use our platform. So with that being said, if you felt like this information was useful, I know we didn't go over Bond Exchange's platform itself, but we do pride ourselves on making surety extremely profitable for our agents. Our platform top tier, and we really work just to promote your agency as much as possible, generate more business for you. We have a kind of an agency listing tool that we call Book Builder that just auto pairs insureds with agents in their area, meaning that the agent just gets a free lead and commission for the bond purchase, and we do all the work. It really is our mission to help you guys out as much as possible. So we will send you an email, you know, which has containing a link to gain access to the platform. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to do so. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it.
See, and this is why he's our head of marketing. He's just going to throw out constant tips and tricks for us. We really appreciate it. As Tim was going through a lot of our tools, just a reminder that in 2 weeks from now, we will have another platform demo if you want to see those tools in real life. But today was just much more about giving you general information about launching campaigns, whether they were about surety bonds or not. Just wanted to give back to our agents and give you guys some content about how to win more business. So we are so thankful to have you guys. We're so thankful to have Tim here, and we will see you on the next webinar. Thank you so much.
Everyone, thank you.